In a cameo appearance today for Walkthrough Wednesday, we're going to walk right in here to the paint booth and check out some new strut bars being painted. Brian, what color have we got going on here?
Looks like it's Destroyer Gray.
Destroyer Gray. It looks like we got two singles and one double going together here. Just once again, all these bars are built, cut, painted, assembled, everything right here in level cross, even down to Richard Petty's signature tab right there. Brian, what else we got going on up here?
Well, we got a lot going on in the body shop. Let's go see. Well, right here we got some collision work going on.
Collision work? I didn't know we did collision work.
Well, it's kind of a new thing we've just started. We've, well, at least to the public, we've done collision work for, you know, the family and stuff like that, but now we're starting to branch out and be kind of a public collision body shop.
So we got a Cadillac here now. This thing's aluminum body, right?
It is.
So we had to get certified to do all this aluminum body work, right?
Yeah, we have to have separate parts of the shop that we can do the aluminum work in, and there's some rules that go along with being able to do these newer style cars.
So we got a little bit of quarter panel work, a little bit of door work, and then a whole door, it looks like.
Yeah, the door really wasn't that badly damaged, but the aluminum body, the dent, when they tried to pull the dent out, it stretched and it got a little oil can in it, so it was just, the best option was just put a new door on it.
Aluminum will tend to do that, right?
Yes, it will.
Got a 2021 Mustang going together with some custom stripes. I love it.
Yeah, this car the customer wanted, he didn't want like the King Edition Mustang that we had. He didn't want a Warrior stripe package. He wanted something a little bit different. So he went with a black stripe with a blue pin. And we also, all of his cladding, all the moldings at the bottom, he wanted painted black to match his stripes.
As y'all can see, the paint takes a lot of time because of the disassembly that goes on with the custom paint. As you can see, the rear fascia comes off, all the rear cladding.
Like even the antenna on the roof had to come off.
Well, because we had to clear over the roof again. Paint under clear.
Paint under clear.
So if you look at this spoiler, I mean, this is basically a NASCAR-inspired rear spoiler. Uses a lot of the same fixings as a cup car. These spoilers are made right here in level cross we have them cut out of 1/8" aluminum, both pieces. They're welded together, and the weld is dressed up with a fine skim coat of Bondo on the backside to finish up the edge, and all looking good. Up next on Walkthrough Wednesday, we're going to talk a little bit about our DynoJet chassis dyno. Have you heard this thing run, Brian?
Oh yeah.
Man, I love hearing them run on here because, I mean, you can see all the power being made right here in front of you and not 1/8 of a mile, 1/4 of a mile down the track, you know.
Yeah, so much different than an engine dyno. Just the sound, everything's different.
Well, I mean, you know, because you got the pipes, you got the tires spinning, you got transmission, everything's running, and it's just a whole different feel as far as a dyno. You can watch them on the engine dyno, and believe me, that's cool too. Don't get me wrong, but to be able to see it in the car doing all this stuff right there in front of you, it's pretty cool. Basically, you have the drum here that has a load cell in it, along with an electromagnetic eddy brake that uses both in turn to give you a horsepower readout at the rear wheels.
All right, so Mitch, with every Petty's Garage custom tune, our customer gets a session on the DynoJet, correct?
Absolutely. With every custom tune here at Petty's Garage, you get dyno time right here on this dyno, along with a printed dyno sheet of your run. Next up on Walkthrough Wednesday, we're here with the Power by Petty man, Fred Langford. Fred, last time we was in here, you was figuring out what kind of valve train to put in. It looks like you've pretty much figured that part out. What did you end up with?
Yeah, when we were here last, it was about trying to figure out push rod length, installed heights, and stuff on the springs. We got a Jessel valve train, a rocker arm setup on it, and we got trim push rods, and actually these are 110 wall, so that's a little bit stiffer than what we've been running.
A little bit heavier than what we usually run, right?
Yeah, just because he may turn this up a lot.
Gotcha. Now I see it's all taped up, man. Everybody would think it's almost ready to go, but I bet it ain't, is it?
No, it's still a ways to go yet. We've got a lot of it done, but we've still got to come up with the oiling system, and we're debating back and forth on dry sump versus wet sump, and also we're almost at a standstill until those decisions are made.
Okay. Some people may not understand the difference in a dry sump and a wet sump. What is the main difference?
Okay, wet sump carries the oil in the oil pan. All the pickup, everything's contained in the oil pan, your volume of oil. Dry sump, it's all an external pump, and there's a tank mounted in the car with lines running to the engine.
So a dry sump versus a wet sump system, what's the advantages over a dry sump system? I know we can't all afford to put a dry sump system in it, but what's the advantage of a dry sump?
Well, if this guy is potentially taking it to the track, the track thing, right and left hand corners, you're more apt to keep an oil to the motor. In a wet sump deal, when you're cornering like road racing, you can sling the oil away from the oil pump pickup, and your engine's periodically, getting a gulp of air instead of a gulp of oil.
So basically the wet sump system, everything's in the pan. The dry sump system, you got a larger
tank
capacity of oil, and it's localized in one spot,
Yeah.
so it can't suck air.
And with the dry sump system, you can also pull a vacuum on the engine, which will in turn allow you to run lighter ring tension. So there's power advantages from that, doing that also.
Well, now you're getting over my head, Fred.
Okay.
Moving on to the OEM shop here. This is our workhorse here that we're going to take to the shows. Been adding a few more things to it. One of the big questions around the shop was when we was painting this stripe, this spoiler comes black. We were trying to decide if it's blue or silver. We wanted to, and I picked blue. Some other people pick silver, but chime in on the comments below and let us know what you think, blue, silver, or left it black. Okay, Sparky, this thing's getting ready for a show. What else have we done to it?
So we started with the Odyssey battery. It's also got a Street Series rear strut bar. It's got 3-inch MagnaFlow exhaust system. It's got numerous Petty's Garage decals on it. It's got Continental tires. We done the custom window etching for Petty's Garage on the rear window. It's also got custom floor mats in the front. I'm working on the windshield banner now. It's got Petty's Garage custom coil covers, JLT cold air intake, a Petty's Garage oil catch can, and a Petty's Garage front single bar.
Born in level cross. Okay, as we all know, the situation going on around the automotive industry, what's going on with these cars here, Sparky?
Well, COVID has really got us in trouble as far as trying to get parts for these cars. It's really caused us a lot of problems in getting them in a timely manner. So we've had a lot of cars that have been sitting for numerous days to weeks because of the lack of parts. So this one came in with a transmission issue and several other stability issues and stuff like that. So right now it's still waiting on parts. Hopefully they'll be in before the end of the week.
I know we waited several weeks on a torque converter for the transmission, right?
Yes, it was actually a couple months.
Yeah, it was a while, I know. This one here, I see the 6-speeds out of it. What's going on?
So this one came in originally for a stage 1 package, and the stage 1 was done, and in the process of getting it finished up, he decided he wanted us to install a clutch, so it's getting a Ram clutch kit in it too.
10-4 new clutch install. What about this? And I see this has been here for a while. Once again, I think we're waiting on headers for this, aren't we?
Yes, this engine is complete. It had a stage 1 done to it, and the holdup now is the Cook's headers that we're waiting on. The delivery date for those aren't till the middle of September.
Whew, man. Brian, what in the swap meet Hades have we got going on here?
Everybody loves a completed car. This is not a completed car.
Well, you got everything to complete it, maybe.
I hope. This showed up yesterday. It's a new project we were actually discussing taking in, and it kind of showed up here. So it's a 1970 Corvette.
Man, that's 2 years older than I am. But no, I mean, it looks like. I mean, are we gonna restore this? Is more parts coming? Because I see the seats are kind of rough here, and I mean, steering column's a little out of whack. I mean, what's the deal on this car?
Well, this car was started at another shop. I'm not sure anything about the shop. I just know the customer wasn't happy and wanted us to finish his car. The other shop has already done a lot of the body work on the car, painted it. So we still have to like sand and buff the car, but the chassis, as you can see from a lot of the parts laying around, the chassis not completed, the engine's not completed. It's got a big block car though. It's got a 454 in it.
Big iron.
4-speed, so that part of it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a lot of parts. Like I say, it just showed up yesterday. We haven't even had time to sort it yet, but it's kind of strange. We got 3 steering columns here, 1 original and 2 new ones. So,
oh wow. Well, I mean, that's for if you got multiple personalities, everybody can drive.
Yeah, that's right. You want to go back here? We'll look we'll look at the body and the chassis.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Like I say, we haven't really even gotten started. We just the parts came in yesterday. The body and the chassis showed up today at lunchtime. So beautiful blue.
Oh man, I do like the blue.
It's not petty blue, my favorite, but it's blue. So
yeah, it's blue. So, what are we going to do?
We're going to complete it. So the engine's been rebuilt, but they didn't finish it, so it doesn't have a front drive on it. So we have to put all the pulleys, water pump, alternator. He wants vintage air on it, so we've got to do all that. Go through the suspension. He's had wheelwood brakes put on it, but I'm not even sure what size the calipers are. He said the wheels didn't fit, so we've got to go and assess all that.
The good thing is it's going to have side pipes.
Yeah. It'll be loud.
That's a leg burner right
yes,
there.
Yes, it is. So it looks like we've got most of the parts, and a lot of it's been touched. I mean, they've already painted the chassis and stuff on it. So basically, it's cleaning it up and getting it all put back together.
So is it going to be an original kind of looking car? Or is it going to be a resto modded?
It'll be an original looking car. I mean, Jerry and I were looking at it when it came in. It's still got the luggage rack for the deck lid. So when the body come in, we're like, they're the holes for the luggage rack.
It's better than a mother-in-law seat. I know we haven't talked a whole lot about the Polara lately, but I was noticing the other day, it looks like we got a lot of chrome coming in.
We do. We got a big portion of it back about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. We're sorting through it, Jerry and I, and you've helped on it a little bit too. Trying to get everything we can put back together. Hopefully in the next couple of days we'll put the windshield in, get all the chrome there. Jerry's been working on the window frames. We had to have the vent window frames re-chromed. So he was putting that stuff back together for the last day and a half. He's working on a lot of the convertible top latches and hooks now. So there's a lot of hardware, a lot of detail that goes into this car, and it's not like we can run across the street and find one to look at.
No, I've spent numerous hours on the internet trying to find multiple pictures of looking for this and that and blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, what about the 60s chrome?
More chrome we put on it, the cooler it gets.
Well, color always helps out a car. I mean,
so but like the dash, we just got the dash back not maybe just a few weeks ago, and I kind of wired it this morning and kind of got it in place, and it makes the dash just pop.
But what about the AM radio? Do they even have AM stations anymore?
I don't know. I listen to Apple Music, so I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, most everybody listens to some kind of podcast or something anymore, so I don't even know if they have an AM station anymore.
But it's coming together pretty good. We still got some hard-to-find parts we're searching for. Nobody makes reproduction door panels, seat covers. So if the customer, how original he wants to keep it, I kind of left that in his court and let him kind of handle what he wants to do with those things that aren't made reproduction. So we've already got the carpet for it, the top's here for it. We had it running about a month or so ago.
It's been a few weeks ago, yeah, but I remember getting it started running and whatnot. What about the glass?
All the glass in this car is reproduction. And I think we actually got the last set AMD had complete for this car. So it's got a brand new quarter glasses, door glasses, vent windows, and the front windshield's all new.
I think it's going to be cool. I mean, like I said, it ain't a Chevelle or nothing, but I guess you could consider it a Mopar hot rod.
I guess it was like one of the first Mopar hot rods. It was the whole Ram Charger deal back in the early '60s. That's the same engine, same cars that they sold at the dealers and took to the drag strips.
Very cool. I still can't get over the dash. I love that '60s dash. Okay, for the finale for this walkthrough Wednesday, we got the original Power by Petty here. As you can remember, you can get this t-shirt along with all of our merchandise, strut towel bars, tuning, everything on petty's-garage.com. You can check out what we did to the Superbird here on Feature Friday with Fred and Friends on YouTube. And now it's time to send this old girl back to the museum.